It is that time. It is that place in the universe for the 40th episode of Iris of Our Eye. I'm sitting down with Cam Shells. I met Cam, let's see, it was a couple of years ago now, probably, at an open mic. Seen each other a few times up there in Sonoma County. I really liked his music. So he's a musician. He's also a drawing artist, both like hard copy and digital. And there's song that I'm remembering. I think the first time that I met you, was you. I think you were singing about eating the rich.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't know how many songs you have for that like strikes a chord with you or not, but that's what I remember very specifically.
I have a few generally anti-capitalist songs, but that is yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about. That one's called Bones and Meat. It's a I like to describe it as a gory song about equality and eating the rich.
Oh man, that's so perfect. That's exactly what we ended the last one on. So it's perfect that we're coming back full circle to the bottom of the
Hmm.
wave, to starting at the top where we left off. It's perfect, 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 perfect. Is there any other art that you do besides what I just said for the people?
Um, I mean, what'd you say? I'm a musician and a visual artist. I mean, yeah.
Mm,
I do. I've done several like show posters for local shows and things like that. So I'm a bit of a graphic designer, I guess you could say. I don't have any like formal training. I've just been drawing my entire life. Um, what else do I do? It's been a while, but I like to draw comics too. I
mm,
like to make people laugh and draw silly things.
sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I remember you. I remember from the last time you were talking about that. Man, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
But what the fuck?
I like to
E
paint now and then as well.
Right, right. I remember you had painted the stuff on your guitar of the
Yeah.
band. Yep. Yeah, yeah. Grab that shit, dude. Show it to the world, man.
Yeah.
Nice, dude. Nice. It's got a little palm tree on that thing. Love it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's something I wanted to say, but I am drawing a blank right now. My mind's eye is like staring at a wall of foam, wall of cones. Yeah, fucking. But whatever. Not what we're trying to talk about. I guess
Too
just,
many distracting technical difficulties.
dude. I guess, man. I guess I need to like take a second and try to like breathe and fucking ground and calm down and fucking just
Yeah.
all like, ugh.
Do a quick
Uh,
meditation sesh.
Shush, shush, shush. I did that like the other day for finally once again. It's been a while. I used to do that shit like every day, multiple times a
Mm.
day, but I haven't been super religious, regimented about it. I want to start with the first question, but then come back to the topic of religion before after the fact. But so let's just go right into like, what is art to you? How do you experience art?
Yeah, I don't remember what I said last time, so let's see what I have to say now. What is art to me? Art, I mean, for me personally, art is just, I mean, it's cliche or whatever. It's therapy in a way. Just like getting out colors and, uh, if I when I have an idea in my head and I'm doing it and it's coming together, it just feels real nice and feels good. And yeah, art is a lot of things. I don't know. It's therapy. It is just it can be funny. It can be uh thought provoking. It can be scary. Um, what is art to me? Art is life. How about
Art
that?
is life, dude. I'll put the thing on the screen, the bumper sticker. Earth without life, or no, what the fuck? Yeah, Earth without life is just like whatever. But fucking Earth without art is eh. The fucking
Ye-
like,
So true.
dude, it's so dumb, but it's so like
Eh,
unironically perfectly
I don't
descriptive
think
of
I've ever
like,
heard that. That's funny.
oh, dude, I'll never forget the first time I saw it. I was living back in New York where I grew up, and then the fucking this neighbor like two houses down, the Bassett's. I can't remember the girl's name, but she just like had it on the back of her like Subaru or whatever.
Mm,
Maybe, and it was just like, oh, that's so cute. But I wasn't even like in in art at that point. I was just like a it's just a normie fucking walking around acting like I wasn't a creative person pretending or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Or maybe I was just too probably just too afraid realistically. There wasn't a lot of like there was like I don't know, at least for me, like as a little kid, there was the thing of like your parents just kind of like my mom specifically just kind of like put me in a bunch of different stuff. Like I remember going to like a pottery class and like
Mm,
having art class in school, but never being like, oh yeah, like I'm an artist. I fucking like
yeah.
do practices or am consistently creating shit on a regular basis. Like that was never like a thing until like way later when I was fucking trying to impress a girl or like what the fuck was it? It really was, for, at least for the guitar and the music. It was like learning a song for a girl and then like fucking playing that hand so poorly and then not getting the girl but keeping the guitar around.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no one specific, but I would say that I got into a guitar a little bit to impress the ladies. But as far as art goes, my older brother and my oldest sister were doing a lot of art when I was like really young,
Mm,
and they eventually kind of dropped out of it. But they were a huge inspiration to me, like in an early way, because my sister would like do paintings and stuff, and my brother would just like draw dumb comics. He's only like few years older than me, so like we're around the same level. But we started like drawing comics together, and like had dumb characters that were like a talking carrot, or my brother's character talking toilet. And of course, they were just named Carrot and Toilet and TV.
skibbity toilet, bro.
Yeah, we were the proto Skibbity.
Oh
um,
my god, dude.
and then eventually, I don't know. They eventually just stopped doing art as much. But I've got ADHD and bad at paying attention in school, so I would just doodle in stuff on like the margins of my homework, and
I've
just kept going.
sure, right? Isn't that all you can do as a person is
Yeah.
just keep going? But I had recently watched this. I don't know if you're familiar with the YouTuber Abba and Preach. There's these two.
Mm-mm.
There's these two black dudes. I think one of them is. I don't know if he's obviously not originally from Canada, but probably grew up in Canada. And then I think the other one grew
Mm.
up in Barbados. And somehow they got together through their life's path slash spiral. And they the one of them Abba had been describing his the bro, this is so convoluted how I have to describe this, but it's like he had a video about Destiny, where Destiny apparently was like cured his ADHD with this one drug, and how it like completely kind of like shifted his perspective on his life, and he realized that like a lot of the things that he had been doing that people considered like uncouth or like kind of um not great or not like a morally upstanding righteous person, that his lifestyle was kind of degenerate or what have you, that he realized that through the ADHD it was like all of this like distraction and like dopamine like not being able to focus or whatever. And then through the take that Abba had, he realized that like he also has ADHD probably because of like the patterns of behavior were like not exactly the same but similar. So he like had this take about Destiny doing this drug and it like helping him like reform and change his life, and then he like basically went to the doctor was like, yeah, like you should try this drug that was the exact one that he was like shitting on Destiny for, and then he like come out and be like, you know, I was wrong, like this shit's actually great, like what the fuck, this is crazy. And to the point of my long-winded like fucking tangent here, do you feel like as someone with the ADD that you are actually able to focus on things that you want to focus on, or is it always like a struggle for you?
Um, that's one of the few things that I can focus on, things that I actually want to focus on. Actually, I say that like it is much easier to like get that dopamine hit from something that I actually do want to do, but a lot of times also like it is hard to find the motivation to do things even when, or like even the focus to do things when you really want to do them. Like I've been drawing here and there lately, but I've been really like in an art block for like a few months now, and like I really want to draw and get back to drawing and coloring and stuff. But it's just hard to fucking do sometimes when there's so many other distractions going on. And um, yeah, but it is definitely like if I'm tasked with something, like if I'm like actually responsible for it, I will do my best to do it. But if it's not something I really want to do, I'm probably going to drag my feet a little bit and maybe not do it as much as I would do it if it was something I was actually interested in.
Sure. Yeah,
It is
that
hard to focus on things that you're not interested in.
no, that's for sure. Unless somebody's like paying you, and even if they're paying you, it's still just like there isn't that emotional like this matters to me investment or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, for sure.
And then yeah, self direction is like such a tricky wicket, is what I like to say. I don't really know where the fuck that saying came from. I'm not British or whatever, but I love the word wicket and playing fucking croquet. But
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it has to do with like croquet or something.
I'm just a lovable goofball is what it is. But that
Mm.
like self direction is, I feel like, something I've always struggled with, and I just wonder how much that's like nature versus nurture, or if you can like, because you can definitely develop like discipline, and like
Mm.
discipline's like a muscle. You just like do it. You don't think about it. You're just like, I'm doing it because this is what I do and this is who I am, and it's just
Yeah.
like the discipline muscle goes. But having that like letting that meet where inspiration like crashes against discipline, if discipline's like a rock and motivation and inspiration is like this wave of emotion that overcomes you,
Mm.
takes over you, moves through you, that like, oh, is there even a question here? I don't even know. I just do you feel like there you can develop it or learn it, or like have you struggled with self-direction yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I also only really learned that I have ADHD when I was like 29. So
Mm,
if I knew that from a young age, I probably would have a lot better coping techniques of learning how to start new projects and really like stick with things. And because honestly, since learning that I have ADHD, it has gotten a little bit easier to be like, I guess to be easy with myself of like, if I really need to do something but I'm just not feeling it, I can do like a little bit, stop, come back to it. It is hard to really like to like start a new habit, especially unless it's like a hyper focus when you're like where you're just like all consumed by it. But
mm,
even then, like that, you will usually wear off after like a month or two, and like it's not really like a habit that you formed. It's just like a thing you did for a month.
yeah,
So it is hard uh, to really commit to things like that sometimes, to like
sure,
starting
sure.
something new.
Yeah, the honeymoon phase wears off, and it doesn't
Yeah.
have the same sex appeal or novelty. Because I'm the exact same way, where I'm like, oh man, like, fuck, this is awesome and so cool, and like I got bit by the jujitsu bug, and I'm doing this shit fucking like
Yeah.
7 days a week, like all the time for multiple hours if I can, and then you're just like, oh shit, dude, things change, and like, you're not the same person you were when you first started the journey, and then you get the blue belt blues, and you don't give a fuck anymore because you move away from the original cult that you were in, and you're just like, man, this
Yeah.
isn't as great anymore, and you're just literally just letting people kick the shit in or kicking people's shit in, like,
That actually reminds me, going back to what you said about like your parents putting you into like different things to just like try different things. When I was young, I I would let my interest be influenced by like video games, where like I would play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and I would really want to learn how to skateboard. Uh, Even though I have shit balance, I just could never. Or like I played Hot Shots Golf, and I wanted to learn how to golf.
fuck yeah, dude,
Uh, uh, which I never really have, but I do love mini golf. Um,
it's the best kind of
but
golf.
yeah, it's true. It doesn't take up nearly as much space and resources.
True,
Um,
true.
but yeah, there's I never got into like a any sort of like martial arts class, but there was definitely like a point where I was interested in that as well, just like jumping from thing to thing to try out. That's
Mm,
definitely part of my ADHD, at least was when I was growing up.
sure, yeah. I mean, I just feel like that's like, especially as a kid, you don't know anything about anything, so you just want to like have people tell you about shit and like learn about it, and you just I just feel like there's an infinite, genuine genius level curiosity about just being alive because you're like this is all crazy and new. What the fuck is going on? That's crazy. Like you, and then it just the world kind of just like strangles it out of you slowly but surely through fucking like repetition and conformity.
Mm. True to an extent for me. It's not really so much about like other people presenting things, just like just like discovering something and then for whatever reason being super attached to it.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, yeah, same. Like you just fucking. Might sound a little crazy, but there's just times in my life that I remember very vividly, like learning about things that I felt like were going or were going to be very important to me later in my
Mm.
life, like specifically the Amazon rainforest in the third grade and like Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Mm.
Like I don't even know when the fuck. I just remember sitting like in my computer lab in elementary school learning about it or like reading about it, just being like, yo, this is cool. Like I want to do this. And but then
Yeah.
never pursuing it farther than that. And then just but it's sticking so deep in my emotional brain that I'm just like, yo, like this is crazy that I'm like remembering this and how important it actually is to my life.
Mm.
I don't know if there's
Yeah.
anything like that for you, but
I've definitely gone on like deep dives, probably for even like less important shit. Like the Amazon rainforest, that sounds cool as hell. I'd love to learn about that. I've just gone on deep dives of like various like Marvel comic book heroes, like reading all about what they've done on Wikipedia, but never reading any actual comics.
that's hilarious, dude. What the fuck? That's like I feel like there's been times in my life where I'm like binging fucking like movie recaps and then just knowing full well that I'm never gonna sit down to watch any of those movies.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I've definitely watched a lot of like movie reviews of like terrible movies and just been like, that looks really fun and dumb. I'll never watch it.
Have you ever watched dude, I can't remember what the frick the series is called, but it's like this one dude, he like plays both characters. He's like he like plays like the writing guy who's like the writing of the script, and then he plays like the movie executive who's like the corporate side of how to like monetize the movie, and he just like he does that for like a bunch of different like films. It's just so fucking funny because the way he like portrays the characters and like oh it's just so great. If I when I find it, I'll like obviously put it up on the screen for the people,
Yeah,
and then like I'll send it to you because it's just so it was just I watched so many and they're so fucking funny, but I can't remember what they're even called like at all right now.
yeah. I'm not sure. It doesn't sound familiar. The only like I don't know why. There's a you say like a series of movies, and the only thing I can think of is the Ernest series of like Ernest goes to camp and like Ernest plays basketball or whatever.
No,
It's
I don't
some
even know.
fucking some guy named like Jim Varney. He did like um he did like commercials for something as this like hillbilly character named Ernest, and he's like talking to the camera and just like mugging it up and like doing weird faces and stuff. And they made like 20 different movies of him doing various activities. I don't know if 20 is accurate, but they made a lot of different movies, at least
What
10
the fuck?
probably. Of him just like going to various things, and I don't think he's. I don't know. I haven't actually. I think I watched like one of the movies like when I was a child, and then recently I was at an open mic and they had a TV going on that was playing movies for of them for some reason.
What the fuck?
Um,
How old are these
but
movies?
they're from like the 90s or something.
That's fucking bro. It just blows my mind that I'm like made it this far in my life and there's still just like shit that I'm just like hearing about this random crazy shit for like the first
Yeah,
time. I'm like, what the fuck is even going on in the world, bro? Like,
there's a lot of stuff
there's
out there.
literally billions of fucking people all over the world and everyone's just like living their life, doing the best they can. It fucking boggles
Making
my
earnest
mind.
movies.
Yeah, making earnest movies, fucking
Yeah.
making fucking what the fuck I just said movie fucking recap fucking series and shit like AI is fucking flooding the internet with a bunch of bullshit and like it in breeding with itself. So AI art is stealing AI art, and it's just getting worse. And
AI. AI art is awful. It's not even AI. It's not even artificial intelligence. It's literally just like machine learning of like aggregated information.
right, yeah, no.
Uh,
I
uh,
just I that's actually one of the questions that we didn't get to last time. So I'm glad this is coming up now. So you don't feel Based on what you're saying, it very much is like you don't feel that AI art is real art.
No, no, it is images.
Sure.
It's very soulless. I mean, uh, it's I I remember like just a few years ago when AI art was new, it was a lot more interesting because it was so bad at what it was doing.
Hmm.
And now it's still kind of bad at what it's doing, but in like a more technically accurate way, I guess. But it's just like it just feels so soulless. And as an artist myself, I see people like using AI art in their things, and I'm like, what are you doing? Just fucking hire me, you know?
Right.
No, yeah, I'm not a big fan of AI. It's bad. It's
It's
bad.
bad. Yeah, I recently saw this reel on Instagram. Even though I'm like trying to stay off of Instagram, except for it's pulling me back to like network with new people to like get on the
Yeah.
podcast and shit. But
Unfortunately, you
the
do need to be on Instagram to network.
yeah, exactly. But like, yeah, because I basically like if people are sending me reels, I just stopped looking at them because that used to be a whole thing that
Mm,
I would like fucking just be scrolling and trying to like find shit to send to other people if they send me shit. But I just like I'm
yeah.
like over it. I'm over that, dude. I'm just yeah, really like the networking part of it. But the thing that I had found that I had seen was this girl. I can't remember her name. Hopefully, I'll be able to like find the reel and put it up here. So as I'm describing it, it's like maybe she has smart enough to put the text on the screen or whatever. But she's describing that like, hey, like look, this is like the Amazon rainforest, or like this is a forest, and like look how alive it is and how it like supports life and is like things within the ecosystem are thriving because it's all like interwoven and interwound and interdependent on one another and each other to like thrive and survive. And then like
Mm.
here's like an AI data center. Look how it's like dead inside and there's no life supporting anything here. Like you can't even have like no water is here at all because it's like you need it to fucking cool the fucking computers and like it's just fucking like taking all these resources and it isn't great. Like oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, that's the other thing with AR. It's not even worth it. Like it uses up so much water and resources, and yeah,
Yeah, well
just
I
to make
think
slop.
just to make slop, dude. Yeah. I mean I use the AI to help me a little bit. I talk to Chat GPT sometimes,
Gibbity.
and GPT, yeah. And then there's some things because I'm not like the, if on the thumbnail, yeah, the thumbnail of this video and all the a bunch of the other ones that I didn't pay this other person to make for me. There's these like this in this the spirals or like the things in the circles in the center that are either green or purple. I had a fucking an aggregate fucking computer put that together for me. So don't hate me too much,
Mm.
please. Please don't
Mm.
be bad. Please don't be bad.
I don't
Okay.
hate you, but I'm judging you a little bit.
Well, dude, I'm lazy and it's fucking it's a tool at the very least. I think that's like I think all technology boils down to just like efficiency and to into being tools for us as extensions of our consciousness. But this whole I don't know if you're familiar with this, but I recently saw a bunch of random shit about the prompt theory that it's like we're living it's an extension of the simulation theory that like we're living in a simulation and that like the
Mm.
great prompt writer in the sky is just the thing that's like dictating like who we are as people and then like if you could just get better and better prompts and you're like improving exactly dude like I don't know I'm like how why it's just everything is a
Okay.
remix. Everything is a remix. So here we are just rehashing all of the old religious ideas again, but now we're just using this weird technocratic babble bullshit to describe the same fucking ideas. There's just a god that's just
Yeah,
like moving through us. Like what the fuck is going on, man?
that's really silly. I don't know if I believe it necessarily. I find the simulation theory fun, but that's just silly.
Yeah, I mean it's
So
just
it's how it's
ridiculous, dude.
evolved to be like, oh, their life is just prompts, man.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, what
from
the fuck?
the
Like,
from the big aggregate in the sky.
yeah, dude, the big fucking to fucking quantum fucking artificial intelligence that's the fucking like overlord of our fucking simulation that we're in.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, dude, maybe like I don't like that possibility. It's kind of lame. It feels super lame and
Yeah.
very like not not to say not self-serving, but not like it doesn't give me hope for the future or like make me want to like build and like create a better world. It just doesn't
Feels
like
bleak.
yeah, exactly. We're like, oh, I'm just a sim in a fucking game, so does my life mean anything to anybody? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 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 all right. So I guess what if this is like the bottom of the trough of the fucking wave we were just on, like what gives you hope for the future? Like what are you like? Where you're like, fuck yeah, like this is why I want to be a person and make it to the next day.
Um, my friends, honestly, the people I surround myself with, some of the kindest people I've ever known. Um, and yeah, I don't know, just the knowledge that there are other people out there that are treating their friends well, and maybe one day we can all treat each other well in that way.
So the
And honestly, art as well. People creating art, putting art out there, creating music. Um, I really enjoy watching people unashamedly living and enjoying their life and being creative with it.
mhm. So like the goodness and the I would even say the goodness and the I don't know, magical is a way you could say it, I guess, but just like that, like yeah, you said did you say unabashed?
Yes.
Yeah, unabashed or just like I guess almost like a carefree like an authenticity even like this
Mm,
is who I am, this is what I'm doing, and I'm fucking enjoying every goddamn second of being me because everybody else is
yeah.
taken, so who else can I be, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's hard to be in my own skin sometimes, so it's pleasant to see other people being happy with themselves, and maybe I can be that way a little bit as well, as taking their experience as inspiration.
Totally, man, totally. As far as inspirations, and then like this, because I still want to talk about the we like keep brushing against it, but that's like religiosity and spiritual side of being. But that like does does any type of like uh grander, bigger mover and shaker of like the world or like a what is it like a divine architect, if you will, is a way of describing the thing in the sky that may or may not be everything and everywhere all at once. But does that uh, move through your art at all, or do you feel like maybe because I know based on what we had uh, just talked about last time, does like do you feel like nature is like the fucking body of God, or do you see it as like sacred?
Mm, I mean, in general, I'm not like a spiritual person. I identified as an atheist for a very long time. I'm now would consider myself more agnostic. You know, I'm not. I'm fucking dumb as hell sometimes. I don't think any of us really have the answers. There could be something out there that created us. I don't think really particularly any established religion is necessarily correct, but who knows, maybe even. But as far as like my art goes, yeah, like like there's no like spirituality in it, but there what you said at the end there, nature is God. That in a way I believe that, I there's so many wonderful things in nature and so many mysterious things that we still don't understand, and it's just like a force of being that we're all living in, and that extends not just to our planet but to the outer reaches of space. There's so much shit going on in our universe. Who knows, what how we all got here. Maybe it was some sort of divine plan, but in a way I suppose you would say that it's reflected in my art a little bit in just that I like drawing nature and I
Mhm.
like um I definitely do believe um what do I believe?
This
Something about
that's
nature being all powerful.
that's what I want to hear, dude. What do I believe? That's what I
What
want
do I
people to
believe?
fucking be not be fucking. I'm glad you've come around to have a more open mind to lean into the agnosticness of life and not really just the wondering and the questioning of what the fuck's going on and why we are and how we got here. Because I am probably a little bit farther along. I don't even know like what a theist, I guess. I'm not really a theist because I don't practice any of like the big three major ones that are out there, uh, espousing that they have it all figured out. But that I feel if there's an arrogance on that side to know or to trust that like your book or your like collection of literature
Mm,
gathered through human culture and time and history is like the only absolute thing that is and you can't go outside of that, that the
yeah.
on the other side that there's an equal amount of arrogance to say that all those people are wrong and everything that they've ever gone through is like not to say bullshit, but that like there's definitely nothing is equally as ridiculous to say that there's definitely something. Um,
Absolutely. I do like a good middle ground of like there is arrogance on both sides of claiming to know it all and also I guess also claiming to know it all and that it doesn't exist.
yeah,
Uh, you know, we're just creatures on this earth. We're just another animal. Just happen to be an incredibly smart animal, capable of communication. Although I would argue there are plenty others animals that have their own forms of communication, but it's beside the point. Um, but yeah, it is a little I guess arrogant would be a good word to say that there's absolute like to say definitively there's no God, there's no force behind everything. Because maybe I don't know. I don't personally believe like I would say probably not, but maybe if it somehow turned out that there was some sort of being watching over us all, and it was like, hey guys, what's up? One day, just let us know it exists. I'd be like, oh okay, all right, sure. I guess that makes sense.
what do you want from me, God? Or like the fucking meme that I'm thinking of, like, what's my life's plan? And it's like I don't know. It's like, oh, so yeah, you don't know either, God. Thanks. Like, it's like fuck you, Kevin. Just live your
I
life. I
just put
didn't
you here
fucking
in my dollhouse. What do you want from me?
yeah, right, dude. Exactly. Like, oh, fucking. It's important. It's important. We make jokes because of how important it is. Like, it's because we don't want it to just be this like overbearing, like wrathful, like vengeful thing, the way that it was described in the fucking Hebrew Bible or whatever.
Yeah.
But then like the more you learn about like occult and like hidden knowledge of like the stuff that's like was burned in the libraries of Alexandria or the shit that's under the
Mm,
Vatican or like any of that kind of stuff that like the more you realize that like there's codified, or at least in my opinion, there's codified like knowledge and like yeah, knowledge, but also what the fuck? I think there's a different way I want to describe this. Basically that like the stories that are like interwound into like culture are describing like weird, deeper, fundamental truths of reality. But like you have to do all this like research and they don't tell you about it in school. So like if you the more you like learn about it, the more you feel like an unhinged crazy person because like the further you go out of the bounds of the cultural norm and like the expectations of society, like the more you feel like you're alienating yourself. And we're very social
mm,
creatures and we need our friends and our family to feel like we're like not just fucking wild fucking animals just like freaking out that there's a fucking cabal of crazy people trying to control the world, you know?
yeah. Yeah, you gotta surround yourself with good people that feel similarly at the very least, even if they don't necessarily agree.
Right. Yeah, there's oh, what the fuck? The thing is like you don't argue with stupid people because they'll drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. not to be exactly what you had just said, but just the fucking like yeah, you just like you gotta find and get around like-minded people, but also like being open-minded and not feeling like you know everything, and just to like trust the process, man. Trust the process.
Yeah,
Trust the
it's important
creative
to like
process.
have differing views around yourself, but in general, in terms of like just having a good time, it's good to be like around like minded people, especially when that like mind is like just general caring and compassion for other people.
No, definitely, man. I feel like I've been in a fairly I don't want to say lonely because I am a very like solitary creature, but it's just like
Mm.
isolated kind of spot where I'm at right now. Just kind of like trying to fucking figure it out and make my dreams come true and make it happen. But it's just very like, man, dude, where the fuck? Why can't I fucking do that and also do it with a fucking bunch of cool people that I fucking love and appreciate? Like, can't I
Yeah,
have both things, please? God damn it.
yeah, I feel that. I've definitely had long periods in my life where it was very lonely and not a lot of people around. Not no one, I would say, but definitely a few people, especially like few people like close by. Like I've had periods of my life where most of my friends were like on the internet, like on the other side of the country, or even in another country altogether.
Mhm.
And that is tough to like. I also enjoy my solitude now and then, but I've also had like a lot of it, so I'm it's good to have a break from that with people that you enjoy. And it is hard to find that as well. I've my the way I've found people is just by like going out to open mics and being myself and playing my music, and you attract what you put out there, and uh you know when the right person comes by when you're putting that out there, then it's fucking magic, I guess. I don't know.
That dude, that is this fucking this woman who I wanted to interview, and I still might interview her before it's all said and done. I had made a plan to like try to interview her on my way back from Mexico, but I was in such a tight spot that I definitely couldn't make that timeline happen because of just,
Mm.
I guess, my own fucking limiting beliefs. But that the point being, she had said we're emotional magnets. We really like what
Mm.
you to your point of like what you put out is what you get back, or the karmatic principle of like do good unto others if you want good done unto you, the golden rule or what have you. That like that I think is a very fundamental uh like reality in the universe that like you just kind of like that there's this speech that I listened to for like I don't even know how long, like a while. Like every day I would listen to it on my way to work. Um, and it's like the guy Les Brown. The thing that I'm thinking of from because there's a bunch of like really great shit in that speech, but the one thing is like, uh, don't be. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. And that like
Mm.
by 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 doing all of the work behind the scenes like an iceberg, not specifically like an iceberg because an iceberg is just a natural formation, but the idea that like under the surface this body and momentum and all this energy that you're putting into yourself of like doing and becoming the person that you want and to become, so that eventually the tip of the iceberg like crashes into the Titanic and you achieve your goal of like becoming a famous iceberg or like whatever the fuck that like the metaphor I'm trying to say here is like
I would love to become a famous iceberg,
that's what I'm
to be
saying, dude.
honest.
Do you think how they think like all the other icebergs are like, yo, I hope I get to sink a fucking ship like that one guy, dude.
I will say though, no one knows that iceberg's name, so I don't. Are they really that famous?
I mean, in the iceberg community, they have to be well known. I'm like, I'm not an iceberg, so I wouldn't fucking know. But
Actually,
like,
that's true. I don't speak iceberg,
none of us
so
do, man. Like, we're
yeah,
like 70% water, but we're not fucking. We don't know what those icebergs are talking about or thinking about, dude.
yeah,
Ah, I love the silliness. Thank you for indulging
of
indulging
course,
me.
yeah.
Um,
Always happy to be silly.
Yeah, of course. Like it's fucking our inner children fucking need that shit. I feel. But art and music. Well, so now you have a band, the Seashells.
Yes.
Would you please um speak to that experience of maybe even just how that came to be?
Sure. Well, I actually have two bands. There's the Seashells, which is my music because I'm Cam Shells, and then there's Vaping at the Pool, which is my friend Edison and his partners Ross and Kate, and also our friend Jake on drums. And I met Edison at open mic, and he played a Mountain Goats song, which is the Mountain Goats is like one of my favorite bands, and I think I also played a song that he liked or whatever, and so like we started talking over Instagram and being like, hey, we should jam sometime. And then separately from that, Jake, who was also at the open mic but wasn't really interacting with us two at the time, uh, asked me to come hang out and jam. And we had like separate jam sessions, and I was like, maybe we should put these together. And so Edison, his boyfriend Ross is a bassist, and his Ross's girlfriend Kate is singing. Um, and we had eventually we were all just like, hey, let's get together and like jam. And so it was the five of us, and we started vaping at the pool, which is we mostly were just like doing like cover songs for the most part. We in the past, like, I want to say like 6 months or so, maybe even more, I don't know, actually definitely more, but we've been like writing songs and like utilizing some other bandmates like older songs and stuff like that to have more original music. But it's kind of an eclectic mix, I would say, for vaping at the pool, and it's hard for me, just in general, it's hard for me to like pin down genres a lot of the times, so it's hard for me to say exactly, but it's like some sort of rock, maybe a little bit of ska-ish, not really, but I do play trumpet in that. But and then like a month or two after that started, another friend of mine who is a bassist was like, hey, I'd really like to play some music with you, or like join you on your songs, because I'm playing my own stuff at open mic still. And I asked some vaping at the pool members if they wanted to be a part of that, and Edison and Jake were down. Edison's he plays rhythm guitar and vaping at the pool, but he plays mandolin in the Seashells, and Jake drums for both. And then so our bassist Connor and us three got together, and there was a time when like a couple other people joined as well, but they just had like scheduling things that they eventually had to drop out. But we did have a keyboardist for a while, a saxophonist for a while, a lead guitarist for a while. I'm rhythm guitar and singing under the Seashells. And so yeah, we just been doing it since, for I want to say like a little over a year now. In both bands started similarly like around the same time. So yeah, basically we just like all met at open mic. It's a fucking wonderful place to meet people. And as far as like the actual experience with my music goes, it's been like incredible, honestly. Like I've been going to open mics in the Sonoma County music scene since like 2017. It was actually just not yesterday. I think it was the day before. It was like the 8-year anniversary of the first time I ever went to an open mic. Um, and like for the first few years, I had made some friends. One friend was really influential on the scene, Star Blue. She was like huge on the scene, and like put me in a lot of shows and stuff, and I was very thankful to her. But it was um, just like me solo for most of the time, occasionally playing with Stars or like some other people occasionally. But for like the longest time, I went as like I signed up for open mics as the Seashells, and it was just me, like, but it was always in like aspirational band name, but people started calling me the Seashells like as a person, and I was like, that's kind of weird. I don't really like that. But I accepted it because it's like a recognition thing. But
Mm,
so it's been really really cool to have an actual band to go behind that now, and it's also nice just like in a small way that I can just be like Cam Shells at an open mic now rather than the Seashells. But like my bandmates are just like super talented people, and they bring so much to my music that I would never think of. And just like playing with them, like I hear it as we play and it just sounds so good, and I'm like so amazed. But also when I'm playing, like I'm a little distracted because I'm also playing and I'm singing and focusing on other stuff. So every now and then I get to like hear what they're like. I like if we like do like a recording or something, I can hear what they're actually doing, and it just sounds so fucking cool. It's so incredible to have that added sound onto my band or onto my music, and it's just
right.
been a really special thing for me. It's been really uplifting to have these
Nice,
people
man.
behind me.
I would be lying if I said I wasn't a tad bit jealous, my friend.
Oh,
I just,
yeah, it's an experience.
yeah, I'm sure I would like to one day be able to like go on tour and have a band and do those things. But I'd still very much feel like I need more music before I do that. Yeah,
Mm.
I know you had told me last time that you're working on maybe two albums, or like I know you had said you had at least one like full one that was like maybe like 18 songs.
Yeah, so we were thinking about doing some recording back in February, but it ended up not going through. But we've actually been starting to like think about recording and stuff again. So I've been putting all my songs together, and that's actually one thing that's been really nice about this, or like the time that I spent before having the band. Just I've had years to like have these songs, so we just have like an hour and a half of music pretty quickly.
Hmm.
But so I was organizing it recently, and I think what I want to do is like have an album of like, actually let me bring it up real quick. It's like an album of like, I want to say like 14 songs, and then a an EP of like another 5 songs that are like kind of B-sides. No, actually 7. Yeah, an album of 14 and a EP of 7 songs, and only 2 covers within those 2 things.
Hmm. Nice. Is that you feel that is to be in the near future of like going to a studio and trying to get some time with somebody to an audio engineer to get it to
Um,
a
I don't. To be
published.
honest, we don't have the money for that, so probably not. But or at least anytime soon. But I have some connections and connections of connections, and could maybe, if not like a super professional thing, maybe at least get like some time in a good space. But right now, we're just doing it in Connor, our bassist's, basically his living room.
Hmm.
But he has audio engineering experience, not necessarily recording. I don't know, but like he does like a lot of live sound jobs, and so he's got some equipment for us to record with.
Sure. Yeah, I mean that's fucking. I feel like that's no one starts out with the fucking crushing home runs in the fucking major leagues, right? Like everybody's got to
Yeah,
start and go through the fucking the levels of experience and training to get to that point. I'd imagine.
yeah, absolutely. It's definitely, yeah, an experience for me personally. Like I have, I think we sort of talked about this a little bit earlier. Just like I have a hard time motivating myself sometimes. So like I do kind of feel sometimes like my progress with this sort of thing is like a lot slower than someone else might be in my position. But
Hmm.
I'm thankful to have my bandmates who are patient with me and can help take the reins as well sometimes.
Right, right, right. Having people to
But
lean on and a team behind you.
yeah, absolutely.
I feel like that's literally the most powerful force on the face of the planet is human collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's just yeah, you just get the sort of guys what I was trying to touch on before that like finding those people for me is a really big motivating factor. Like I have there's definitely some people that I would love to go on tour with. But I want to write more music and finish my third album and then also I'm trying to fucking like go leave and live in Hawaii. So it's like
Mm.
go on tour, then come back and be like, all right, bye guys, have fun. I'm
Peace.
out. Yeah, peace. That fucking
Yeah.
a meme of that black kid who just does that and just disappears.
I
I don't
don't
know if
know
you've
if I've
seen
seen
that
that.
one or if you know you know or it's on screen. It's fucking it's a good one. It's a good meme.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, man. So let's see. I'm just am more curious if besides the album, I feel like I probably asked this the last time, but is there any like goals you have for yourself in any of your endeavors that you're trying to like see come to fruition or like maybe more of like because for an example for me speaking like one thing that really motivates me to like not give up and to like continue on this journey of my life is like my unborn children, not that I have a girl pregnant or anything, but that like I know one day in the future that will be a thing. I'm like
Mm.
very confident about that. But do you feel like you have anything that's like a similar like force in your life where like if you get down or bent out of shape that you can like come back and be like, oh no, but like this thing in the future will be better because of X reason or Y or Z.
I think I'm gonna have to go back to my friends. My friends are honestly my reason for living sometimes. They're just they're just some of the best people. They're so kind and supportive. As far as like goals and like things I want to do, obviously there is the album, and you know EPs and whatever other albums. I'm currently working on a picture book with one of my friends that's based on like one of his songs about his about pets. I want to say his pets, but they're not really his pets. It's kind of a silly song with various animals, but
Mhm.
that's pretty close to being done. Just like one or two pages and like the cover and back cover that I need to draw. But that is coming along. I've already got like 25 pages drawn or something like that, and so I'm looking forward to that coming out. And I really want to publish a comic book for my own comic stuff. I actually back in 2019 I like hand drew what was it like 64 pages of comics. It was like three different comic stories, and like one was about a girl genius and her cloning her cat and that going awry. One was about I don't even know how to describe it. It's a very silly story, lampooning beauty pageants, and it's like barely even that. I don't know. It's silly. It's also like about learning to love yourself, I guess. And then another one that was just like the first session of D&D that I ever ran as a
Nice.
DM, and it's like all collected into one book. And I really wanted to publish it and like get it into like local stores and stuff. And then the pandemic happened, and that just completely went out the window. I tried to like publish it digitally, but it didn't really do any. My only option was Amazon. I'm not really fond of like putting stuff on there.
Yeah.
And so I really want to still like republish that and maybe like work on continuing stories for these stories that I have in them, especially now that I have because like I said I did it like it was so much fucking work to do these comics.
Hmm.
Not the actual drawing, because I'm a pretty quick artist when it comes to like just like drawing silly things, but like the process of like Well, first I like wrote a script for each comic that was basically like read kind of like a TV manuscript, like blah
Hmm.
blah blah enters, this panel describes this and this is what is said. And then I also did like the actual panels on paper and like with like rulers and everything. And that was like the longest fucking process. And my one's not I don't know, one solace that I have is that if I am able to publish that and then continue it, I now have much better digital tools. Like I have a tablet that I can actually draw on, like on my computer, like a screen,
Hmm.
and that entire process would just go by so much quicker.
There you go.
So I forget what the point I was making there, but yeah.
Seeing that come to a more complete status, I guess, if like a goal that you have for yourself.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so we didn't get into anything weird or what the fuck, macabre like we did last time, but that's all right. It's for
No,
another time and another place.
no
But
alien talk this time.
no alien talk this time, and everyone knows that I do appreciate some good alien talk, but it's just not
Mm.
what was in the cards this time around. I enjoyed
Well,
this just as much as I did last time, so
yeah, it's fun.
fuck it, man. Fuck it all. So, if upon hitting the stop recording button, everything was recorded and went well, but we were to pass away on the spot, what piece of like wisdom, like life advice would you want to, if this was going to be like shared with a bunch of people, like millions or billions of people were going to see it, and like that last little bit was like the thing that they like was the takeaway that they like carried on with them or their own hero's journey. What thing would you want to leave behind as like a hey people, take this with you?
Keep creating, keep doing what you love, keep living your life as best as you want to, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody. Do what you want to do and love who you want to love, and tell the people that you love them, and just do your best every day, even if it's a small thing, to make the world a better place. And again, just keep fucking creating. Just even if you don't think you can do it.
You can do it. Just the
You
fucking
can
the
do
Shia LaBeouf, the Shia LaBeouf meme. Do it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Peanut butter falcon, baby. Peanut butter falcon. I'll just
Mhm,
say,
mhm.
live in your heart and become friends with freedom and uncertainty, and just like let your life's fucking path unfold as it will, and like trust the process. But Cam, where can the people find you? What can they find when they get there? And any shout outs you want to go do before we wrap this fucking show pony up?
You can find my art at Cam Shells on Instagram. CAMCHL. Shells like seashells. I can't spell my own last name because I always just say shells like seashells because it's shells like seashells. Real
Right.
last name. And find my band, the Seashells, on Instagram. The Seashells Band. And vaping at the pool is vaping at the pool. All on Instagram because it's it's the place you need to be to socialize, unfortunately, or to network or whatever. Um, and for those things, you'll find where we're playing next. The Seashells doesn't really have any shows coming up, but the Vaping at the Pool does have some pretty exciting shows next month in July. So check those out.
Right on. All right, dude. Well, smile more, complain less. Never, ever, ever give up until you discern it's for your darndest best. Namaste. Have a great day. Slosh soon if it's nighttime soon. Like, share, comment, subscribe to keep the algorithm satisfied. And if I don't see you while I'm alive, I'll catch you on the motherfucking flip side. Beautiful souls, beautiful people, whoever you are, wherever you are. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.